The South Union Township Supervisors present the South Union Township Sports Network today from Mustang Field here at Laurel Highlands High School. It's high school boys soccer time as the Laurel Highlands Mustangs take on the South Fayette Lions. Hi, everybody. I'm Brian Morozak alongside Billy Dice. South Union Township Sports Network coverage, a joint cooperative venture with Township Supervisors Bob Schiffbauer, Rick Vernon, and Jason Scott, along with Armstrong and Breezeline Cable, and our friends at CUTV, including Gary Smith. Again, I'm Brian Morozak with Billy Dice, and I'll turn it over to Jason Taylor, our public address announcer, for tonight's starting lineups and the national anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Mustang Field, here on the campus of Laurel Highlands Senior High School. For this evening's boys soccer match between the visiting South Fayette Lions and your Laurel Highlands Mustangs. And now the starting lineups for this evening's match. First, for the visiting South Fayette Lions. The Lions are led by head coach Rob Eldridge, assistant coaches Joe Luxbacher, Nolan Levine, and Jim Kidda. A senior midfielder, number 30, Ryan Bradley. Senior defender, number 10, Tyler Sidholm. Senior midfielder, number 27, Grevel Garcia Arden. Junior midfielder, number 8, Luke Gillen. Junior defender, number 2, Alex Rank. In goal for the Lions, a junior, number 0, Gabe Specca. A sophomore defender, number 28, Alex Garvin. A sophomore defender, number 5, Jude Chaotic. A freshman midfielder, number 19, Noah Feltz. A freshman forward, number 6, Lucas Patel. And a freshman midfielder, number 34, Colin Goff. And now, our starting lineup, your Laurel Highlands Mustangs. The Mustangs are led by head coach Jerry Rogers, Sr., assistant coaches Josh Nairn, Vernon Chandler, Simon Mawunda, and Jerry Rogers, Jr. A senior midfielder, number 1, Connor D'Amico. A senior midfielder, number 4, Ryan Rockwell. In goal for the Mustangs, a sophomore, number 5, Dan O'Neill. A junior forward, number 8, Cole Radcliffe. A senior midfielder, number 15, Tanner Ruzda. A freshman defender, number 16, Jackson Aaron. A senior defender, number 17, Maddox McAllister. A junior defender, number 22, Casey Mahoney. A junior defender, number 23, Brody Baker. A freshman midfielder, number 27, Roman George. And a sophomore midfielder, number 38, Matt Kalensi. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, we would ask everybody please rise. Gentlemen, remove your caps for the playing of our national anthem.
Just about set to go here at Laurel Highlands High School. The Laurel Highlands Mustangs and the South Fayette Lions. Brian Morozak along with Billy Dice. Nice to have you along with us for a Thursday night of high school soccer action here in the South Union Township Sports Network. Laurel Highlands enters the match 0-1-2 overall, 0-1-1 in conference play. Jerry Rogers in his 10th year as the head coach of the Mustangs. The South Fayette Lions 1-2 overall, 1-1 in conference play. Rob Eldridge, the head coach of the South Fayette Lions. These two schools meeting for the first time since 2013 when the Lions downed the Mustangs in the WPIAL quarterfinal. South Fayette, the defending WPIAL 3A champs, but they lost a lot to graduation. Laurel Highlands trying to get back into the WPIAL playoffs for the first time since 2021, and one of those two draws the Mustangs had against Thomas Jefferson here last week. The Jaguars came into the season, preseason number 1, according to the Triple I High School Sports Network, in 3A. So an impressive showing there for Laurel Highlands. The Mustangs did drop a 1-0 decision on the road at Ringgold last Thursday and drew a game against Beth Center here on Saturday. South Fayette working right to left as we describe it. The Lions in the home whites with green numbers. Laurel Highlands in the home reds with white numbers and blue shorts. And the Lions with a little aggressive play there as the Mustangs' Roman George went down and a little crosser into the box. That's played high into the air here at the top of the 18, and a little poke on the Mustangs' back line as South Fayette trying to get a little pressure there from Lucas Patel, and the ball flinging back out to Noah Feltz, but the Mustangs able to clear the zone. So South Fayette getting some early pressure here in the opening minute against Laurel Highlands as Ryan Rockwell trying to get a little poke out, but the Lions able to continue the control. Both of these schools playing a 4-5-1 here today. The Mustangs 4-5-1, a little modified there with the diamond in the middle with Cole Radcliffe up top. The diamond consisting of Connor D'Amico, Ryan Rockwell, Tanner Brusda, Roman George, and Matt Kolensik. The back line, Jackson Nairn, Maddox McAllister, Casey Mahoney, and Brody Baker with Daniel O'Neill in goal for Laurel Highlands. And he's feeling a little pressure here on the far side as South Fayette. An aggressive move into the box there from Greville Garcia Arden. And the ball going out of play. Last touch by Laurel Highlands going out will be a South Fayette corner kick here from the far side. And the South Fayette numbers not doing any of the announcers any favors up here in the press box. The small green numbers on the away white jerseys. Not easy to pick up. And it'll turn and a shot out in front. And South Fayette striking here at the 38-22 mark of the first half. Right off the corner kick. Getting the opening goal of the match. And we'll check the Lions goal score here. Appears to be 27. Greville Garcia Arden. That didn't take long for the defending WPIAL champs to get on the scoreboard first. And South Fayette taking a 1-0 lead over Laurel Highlands. They're on the attack here again, looking for more. Lion going down. And a foul called here on Laurel Highlands. And another scoring opportunity here for South Fayette in the Laurel Highlands zone. And a little chip just going wide of the box. Shot was taken there by Tyler Sidom, and Luke Gillen sent it into the side of the net. This will be a goal kick here for O'Neill and the Mustangs. And Daniel laying it off there to Brody Baker. Now Ryan Rockwell, a little miscommunication there on that back line. Sending it over the near boundary and out for a South Fayette throw-in. That'll be taken by Lucas Patel. Headed along by Noah Feltz. Mustangs clear it back there to Alex Renk. Trying to pull it back into the box. Headed there by Ryan Rockwell. As the Mustangs try to gain a little possession time. And Rockwell down the near boundary trying to chase it down. There is Cole Radcliffe. And Cole poking it along. Tyler Sidom defending. The ball will roll back to the keeper, Gabe Specka. South Fayette, 3 juniors, 3 seniors, 2 sophomores, and 2 freshmen. And they're starting 11 here today. As the ball goes out of play there on the far side. It'll be Laurel Highlands with the possession as Roman George will take the throw-in. Quickly possessed, though, by the Lions. They'll sky it back to center. Greville Garcia Arden unable to track it down.
Lions goal. Number 27, Greville Garcia Arden.
And a Mustang Ryan Rockwell going down there, and a foul called on South Fayette. A free kick for the Mustangs, edge of their own zone. 36:08 left here in the first half. Remember, Laurel Highlands fell behind Thomas Jefferson here at home last week. 2-0, rallied back with 2 goals in the second half to force overtime. Game was stopped by a lightning delay in the first overtime session and ruled a draw after the match could not get resumed. Baker taking this throw-in. Headed along by Tanner Brusda. And a play here on the near side. Last touch by the Mustangs going out. Lucas Patel to take this throw-in now for South Fayette. Patel looking for a little help. Playing in there to Noah Feltz. Deflecting around and then controlled there by Greville Arden trying to come forward. And a handball called there on Maddox McAllister of Laurel Highlands. Forcing another South Fayette free kick. This one to come about 35 yards from goal. Mustangs with a line pretty much back at the top of the 18-yard box. Noah Feltz to take this one. Blasted it into one of the Mustang up men. That was Jackson Nairn. Laurel Highlands trying to break back here on the near side with Ryan Rockwell. Rockwell. Strong battle there with South Fayette's Ryan Bradley. Bradley trying to pick up possession. Got a little help there from Luke Gillen. But controlled at center by Matt Kolensik of Laurel Highlands. So the Mustangs reset from their defensive line, trying to get something going. Pass over here on the near side. Played back from Connor D'Amico. Over to Brody Baker. Now D'Amico again. Trying to spring it up to Ryan Rockwell, who leads the diamond. Poking it down the near side to Cole Radcliffe. Radcliffe trying to dance around Lucas Patel. Sends it to the box. A little sliding attempt there from Rockwell, but the Lions play it back here to Brody Baker on the near side for Laurel Highlands. Turned up to D'Amico, touched by Rockwell. Rockwell feeling a little pressure from behind there. Able to keep it alive to Baker again. Noah Feltz getting a piece of it there for South Fayette, and the Lions able to control with Grevel Garcia Arden, who had that opening goal for the Lions. Now South Fayette looking for more. First time South Fayette and Laurel Highlands have played in the same section for high school soccer. Mentioned the last meeting between the schools occurred in the quarterfinal round of the 2013 WPIAL playoffs. It's been almost 11 years since the two programs have met. That game was played at South Fayette High School. We actually had it for you on the South Union Township Sports Network. The Mustangs getting possession there with Rockwell. Trying to get it up to Radcliffe, but has four Lions around him. That South Fayette back line able to possess the ball and send it off on the far side, trying to reset here with 32:48 left in the first half, and South Fayette leading Laurel Highlands by a score of 1-0. Here's Rockwell again. Rockwell another touch. Noah Feltz getting possession back again for South Fayette. Going to work it up to Luke Gillen. The Mustangs get possession there with Rockwell. Ryan pulling it back. Over to Kolensik. Matt Kolensik touch ahead there to Radcliffe. Trying to send it back in Kolensik's direction. But South Fayette getting at least temporary control there with Grevel Garcia Arden again, who pulls back from the midfield, trying to spring it down on the far side of Lucas Patel. Never gotten his direction. Kolensik there again for Laurel Highlands. The Mustangs try to work out of their own zone again. Rockwell, a little give and go there with Brewsda. On the lob pass ahead intended for Radcliffe. Goes body to body there with Alex Rank. And had to play out the Mustangs and outs. South Fayette throwing will be taken. Actually, Lucas Patel had it and gave it back there to a teammate. He'll lob it in here down the near line. Headed by Rockwell, went down. Kept alive by Brewsda. Over to D'Amico. And a pull back here on the near side. Rockwell another touch. He'll lose it out of play. We'll go back over to the Lions. 31:03 left here in the first half. South Fayette on a Grevel Garcia Arden goal, leading Laurel Highlands by a score of 1-0. Brewsda again. Touching it off to Radcliffe. A battle here on the near side. That time off of Lucas Patel and out. And Connor D'Amico will take the throw in. Back to Brody Baker. Now Radcliffe again spinning his way around Patel and sending a shot on goal and a diving save there from Gabe Specka. First shot on goal tonight for Laurel Highlands. Coming here almost 10 minutes in. With the ball going off of Specka and out. Will be a Mustang corner kick from the far side. Corner sent into the box, going right in Specka's direction. And Gabe able to make the save there. He'll send his troops down the field. Specka blasting it back to center. Knocked down by the Mustangs' Maddox McAllister. The Lions get another touchdown on their defensive line with Radcliffe putting the pressure on. Pulled back over to Specka. Goes wide here on the near side to Tyler Sidham. Sidham down the near boundary. Little ball ahead to Luke Gillen on his horse. Gillen side of the 18-yard box. Cross out in front, and O'Neill able to pull it down. Good stop there from Daniel O'Neill. Played out on the far side of Roman George. Mustangs trying to spin their way back through center, but South Fayette slowing down the attack. Ryan Bradley able to step in there, and Lions put it back on their defensive line again with Tyler Sidham. Talking to the Lions head coach, Rob Eldridge, before the start of the match, said don't expect many substitutions tonight. We're pretty much going to play the guys that are in the starting lineup. Here's Gillen again from the far side looking for a little crosser. The ball off of Laurel Highlands and out. Another South Fayette corner kick coming here with 28-38 left in the first half. Lions taking the corner here from the near side. A little lob and a header there from the captain, Sidholm, going high and wide. And O'Neill will take it here for a goal kick on the Laurel Highlands side. I appreciate you joining us for the match tonight. Brian Morozak along with Billy Dice here on the South Union Township Sports Network. Our match action brought to you by Smith Lewis Chess CPAs in Uniontown. Davis & Davis, attorneys at law, the Sprouse Insurance Group, and insurance agent David Hughes. Chesler's Fine Furniture at 51 north of Uniontown, SWGI Specialist, now part of U.S. Digestive Health. UPMC Rehabilitation Institute and physical therapist Jim Burns. United Bank, the Laurel Highlands Boys Soccer Boosters, and South Union Township Supervisors Bob Schiffbauer, Rick Vernon, and Jason Scott. 27-38 left here in the first half. Still a 1-0 lead for South Fayette over Laurel Highlands. Jackson Nairn on the Mustangs defensive line, losing control, crosser out in front, and South Fayette's Luke Gillen came close to making it 2-0 Lions, just sending it wide there of O'Neill, who will take the goal kick for the Mustangs. Daniel, a little boot down the near side. Headed back on the South Fayette direction, intended for Gillen, but cleared out there by Laurel Highlands. A good rundown from Roman George, unable to track it down. And off the Mustangs and out. Quick South Fayette throw in here from the midfield. Lions trying to reset. Noah Feltz playing it ahead. And Gillen on it, through ball, and a 3-on-1 coming back, but the Lions offsides. Good break there for Laurel Highlands. Would have been tough for O'Neill. Outnumbered 3-1 was the Mustangs' back line there on the attack. And South Fayette coming across that last defender a little bit too quickly. Next Mustang home match for the boys here next Thursday against McKeesport. We're planning on having it for you here on the South Union Township Sports Network. Mustang defensive line here. Challenge Baker. Trying to play it down the near side. Controlled by Lucas Patel for South Fayette. Touching it off there to Sidham. And over to Noah Feltz. Stepping in there for Laurel Highlands was Kolensik. To send it out on the far side will stay South Fayette balls. We've played almost 15 minutes of soccer so far tonight. Still a 1-0 lead for the South Fayette Lions over the Laurel Highlands Mustangs. Ball played into the box, coming loose. Look out here, and O'Neill comes diving out, making another save for Laurel Highlands. O'Neill was spectacular in goal. Our last TV match here last Tuesday when the Mustangs took on Thomas Jefferson. Yielded only one against Ringgold on the road last Thursday. The Mustangs squandered 2 in a non-conference game against Beth Center. And the Fayette County Coaches Tournament here on Saturday. That was an early start, 8:45 start this past Saturday for that contest. And the Mustangs' little open field here as Radcliffe comes into the South Fayette zone. Sending it down on the far side over to Roman George. George, though, unable to track it down in play. Will go out for a South Fayette goal kick. With 24:40 left here in the first half. Of course, we're back tomorrow. High school football action. Laurel Highlands hosting Southmoreland. 7 o'clock start from Mustang Field. We'll have it on all of our normal outlets. South Union Township Sports Network, WMBS, the Laurel Highlands School District Facebook page, and many more. Laurel Highlands finding it here again. Tanner Brewsda. New entry on the Laurel Highlands side. Elliot Bohr into the match for the first time, wearing number 42. Bohr only a freshman. Mustangs very high on their freshman class. You had Nairn and Roman George both in the starting 11 as freshmen here today. South Fayette, the goal from Greville Garcia Arden, leading Laurel Highlands by a score of 1-0. That goal came early, less than 2 minutes into the match at the 38-22 mark of the first half. Mustangs kind of leveled out the play since. And still down a goal on the scoreboard. Lions triggered back into the box. Looking for a little control. The Mustangs getting a little poke out there from Brody Baker. And to lead the rush forward. We had both Rockwell down on the Laurel Highlands side. With Luke Gillen for South Fayette, allowing the Mustangs to find a loose ball here in the near wing. It's Cole Radcliffe. Radcliffe coming ahead to Ryan Rockwell. Rockwell looking for the crosser. Played back, a little open space. Let's see if a Mustang can find the ball, and a little chip going wide here on the near side. Still loose out in front. Mustangs trying to keep control. Rockwell is there. Shot got blocked out in front. And it will be a corner kick here for Laurel Highlands. So the Mustangs buzzing a bit on that trip down the field. And not done yet with a corner kick coming here from the near side. It'll be Tanner Brewsda to take it. Brewsda sends it to the top of the box. Unable to knock it down there was Roman George. Will go out on the far side, and South Fayette will regain possession here with 22-14 left in the first half, leading the Mustangs by a goal. Well, bouncing around here around the midfield. Lions pick it up again. Numbers favor the Mustangs. South Fayette staying with it there as Sidham trying to spin around, and offsides there was Luke Gillen trying to spring forward here on the near side. Second time the Lions have been called on the offsides, trying to spring a little bit too quickly there into the 18-yard box. Getting past that last defender a little bit too quickly. Rockwell again for the Mustangs. Back to Elliot Bohr. Touch from Brewsda. Set up there over to Kolensik. Seeing a lot of pressure on the South Fayette side. Putting some pressure on the Mustangs' defensive line. Laurel Highlands has not been able to just sit back and relax at any point of this match so far, and South Fayette breaking here again. Another little crosser from the backside. Go over in Gillen's direction now on the near side. Gillen skying another one here at the top of the box. Was headed by Noah Feltz. Played down out in front and then finally cleared by Laurel Highlands into their bench on the far side. South Fayette put a lot of pressure on the Mustangs here early on. Just one goal to show for it so far. We do have a South Fayette change. First substitution they've made. In fact, the only change the Mustangs made was the entry of Elliot Bohr. And we'll check on that new entry on the South Fayette side. We get a chance. This one played back into the box. O'Neal coming out. Little collision out in front. Ball coming free here on the near side. Gillen a little shot for a deflection out in front and going wide of the goal here on the near side. Should be a Mustang goal kick. But again, South Fayette putting the heavy pressure on here in the first half of the match. Laurel Highlands from their back line. Here's Bohr a touch. Over to Kolensik. Now Jackson Nairn trying to send it back in Brewster's direction. Lions get another touch on it. Mustangs work it up to Ryan Rockwell, bodies the ball down. Played back again to Nairn. Skied back edge of the South Fayette zone, intended there for Radcliffe, and a foul called on the South Fayette Lions. We have a free kick here for Laurel Highlands. Sidham called for the foul. And Jackson Baker now seeing his first match action for Laurel Highlands, wearing number 65. Baker, another member of that talented freshman class on the Laurel Highlands side. 21 minutes into this match. Brewster taking this free kick into the box. Elliott Bohr trying a header there. Mustangs unable to keep it in play. It's whistled down on the backside and ruled off of Laurel Highlands and out for a South Fayette goal kick. Mustangs shuffle the deck again. Casey Mahoney out. And Ethan Perkins in on the Laurel Highlands side. The first time we've seen Perkins tonight. Lions another poke. I'll try to spring it down the far side, and you have Luke Gillen coming towards the goal, and Gillen's going to find it inside the box, trying to settle it down. Gets a little help, and the shot saved there from O'Neill and deflected wide. So once again, Daniel O'Neill coming up big with another save on the Laurel Highlands side. Keeping the South Fayette lead at only 1. But the Lions to get another corner kick here from the backside. Lights pretty much taking their full effect right now. A line drive headed out by Matt Kolensik. And now the Mustangs breaking back here with Cole Radcliffe on the ball. Radcliffe down the far side. What a run here for the Mustangs. Taking the blast that actually beats the keeper, Gabe Specka, who just went wide of the goal. So a nice run down there on the Laurel Highlands side. Unfortunately, unable to capitalize on the opportunity. They beat Specka, but the shot just went wide of the goal. The goal kick here from Specka. He'll just go short and blast down on the far side. Look for another cross out in front. Mustangs trying to head it out. And O'Neill making another save, but on the rebound, put into the back of the net to make it 2-0. South Fayette. Goal scored there by Luke Gillen, number 8. Gillen scoring here at the 16:36 mark of the first half, and not much O'Neill could do about that one. Made the initial save. But no, Mustangs back defensively, and Gillen off the rebound, beating O'Neill and sending it into the back of the net to increase the South Fayette lead to 2. Lions, the defending WPIAL champs, have the Mustangs now on the ropes here in the first half with 16:28 left before halftime. South Fayette always a strong program year in and year out. Mentioned the Lions off to a little bit of a tough start, though, this season. Lost their conference opener to Bethel Park by a score of 3-1, then came back with an 11-1 win over McKeesport as Ryan Rockwell. Big-time collision here on the near side with Lucas Patel, and this is going to draw a card. Yellow card on Patel. Coming here at the 16:06 mark of the first half. So Patel will have to sit out 5 minutes. And to watch his P's and Q's the rest of the way as well, because 2 yellows equals a red. Rockwell appears all right. Good sign there on the Laurel Highlands side. I think we're getting offsides here on the kick, unless it was just taken too quickly. I don't think the officials ruled the ball in play yet. They were still booking Patel. So the Mustangs get a little redo as Rockwell continues to stretch out here on the Laurel Highlands side. Maybe bleeding a little bit there. Took a shot to the mouth. Now set to go again. Brewsda to take the free kick. Mustangs running. And Brewsda is sending it through on the backside. Speck unable to get a piece of it. Didn't really have to. Mustangs couldn't knock it down either. Just goes a South Fayette goal kick. Specka goes short. And the Lions reset from their back line. Laurel Highlands getting control again there with Rockwell. He goes down again. Another South Fayette foul. Lions have been aggressive on the defensive end so far in this match. Brewsda taking another free kick. Another line drive here on the near side will go to the left of the keeper, Gabe Specka. The Specka's left and out of play. Another goal kick. We're mentioning South Fayette lost their opener to Bethel Park in a conference game 3-1 and came back and defeated McKeesport 11-1. I mentioned the Mustangs will see McKeesport here next Thursday, and then fell in a non-conference game to Mount Lebanon on Tuesday and a score of 2-0. They'll be back in action this coming Tuesday at Thomas Jefferson. I have to think TJ, Bethel Park, and South Fayette, three of the favorites in the conference. With the conference on a whole, they're just loaded. Ringgold already win over Laurel Highlands. They're solid. Trinity, a good team year in and year out as well. 8 teams in the conference, only 4 make the playoffs. Going to be a fight for the Mustangs. Try to get in the postseason for the first time since 2021. They'd made it in 6 straight years, missed out the last 2. South Fayette up 2-0 here over Laurel Highlands. Goals from Greville Garcia Arden at the 38-22 mark, then Luke Gillen scoring on a rebound at the 16-36 mark. It's been the difference so far in this match. Now another opportunity there from Luke Gillen. Is missing high and wide on the near side. It'll be a goal kick coming back for the Mustangs. Laurel Highlands trying to get the offense going. Seems like year in and year out. South Fayette, one of the top programs around the WPIAL. They find the loose ball here again and quickly turn it over to the Mustangs' Elliott Bohr. Laurel Highlands tries to set it up for their own zone. Ryan Rockwell trying to come forward. Going shoulder to shoulder there. Very aggressive was Luke Gillen. No foul called on either side. Just rolled off of Gillen and out. And Brody Baker to take this throw-in. Off of Elliott Bohr. Touch there from Casey Mahoney. On the defensive line, Sidham taking the safe route back to Gabe Specka. You can see how it's easy for some of these guys to miss time with concussions and whatnot. Just the physical nature of this game. We've seen a lot of it so far tonight. Rockwell stepping up again for the Mustangs. He'll be sore tomorrow. Rockwell, good run here into the South Fayette zone. Got tripped up in the box. Should be a penalty kick. It will be. So Ryan Rockwell giving the Mustangs an opportunity here with a penalty kick. No card was shown. I think Tyler Sidham was the line to trip him up. Now Laurel Highlands an opportunity here to get one back. The penalty kick attempt that'll be taken by Tanner Brewsda. Brewsda one-on-one here with Gabe Specka. 12:30 left before halftime. Brewsda on the run-up, fires into the back of the net, went high on the far side to beat Specka on the penalty kick, and the Mustangs back to within 1 at 2-1 here at the 12:30 mark of the first half. We talked about that TJ match here last Tuesday where Laurel Highlands fell behind 2-0 and came back to force a 2-2 draw. In that game, they scored both of the goals in the second half. Here, Brewsda getting one back at the 12:30 mark of the first half. And Laurel Highlands back to within one at 2-1. That'll certainly get the Mustang bench and crowd fired back up. South Fayette brought a pretty good contingent of fans down tonight as well, all sitting off to our left. We had a rowdy South Fayette fan here in the press box we had to get rid of before the start of the match. Was causing a little ruckus. Billy took care of him. Got him out of the box. Couldn't ID him. Here's Matt Kolensik coming back. Trying to set it up to Cole Radcliffe. The ball going out in the backside. Laurel Highlands will have a throw in. Our match coverage today brought to you by Smith Lewis Chess CPAs in Uniontown, Davis and Davis Attorneys at Law. The Sprouse Insurance Group and insurance agent David Hughes. SWGI Specialist, now part of U.S. Digestive Health. Chesler's Fine Furniture at 51 north of Uniontown. The UPMC Rehabilitation Institute and physical therapist Jim Burns. United Bank, the Laurel Highlands Boys Soccer Boosters, and South Union Township Supervisors Bob Schiffbauer, Rick Vernon, and Jason Scott. As Daniel O'Neill makes another save there on the Laurel Highlands side, out to Roman George on the far side. And South Fayette deflecting it out of play. Another Laurel Highlands throw in here with 11:22 left in the first half. Mustangs down only one now at 2-1. Jack Johns into the match for the first time on the Laurel Highlands side. But South Fayette coming back here on another attack coming forward, and a diving save from O'Neill. Had Luke Gillen again on the doorstep looking for the brace. And also looking for the rebound, but was not given up there from O'Neill. And now Gillen and Johns getting aggressive here on the near side. This would be a little chippy match, I think, the rest of the way. Rockwell, good run down the near side, but Radcliffe looking to cross it out on the far side. Colenza getting a touch. George trying to come forward, but South Fayette finding the loose ball. Lions trying to break back through center. Well defended here by Laurel Highlands. They're going to play the advantage here. Would have been a Mustang foul. They let it go, and then Laurel Highlands got possession, and no whistle was blown. With 10:17 left before halftime. Lions still up a goal. They'll look for a crosser here. Had Gillen to get out in front. Never got a touch on it that time. Got knocked down there momentarily by Noah Feltz. Feltz trying to stay on it, battling with Ryan Rockwell. Then Mahoney able to clear there for Laurel Highlands. Back to center, going over Feltz. He'll touch it off to Jude Kwiatek. Another good run. Gillen here on the near side. Play is on sides as of now. Gillen pulls back. A little poke there from Johnson. Those two go shoulder to shoulder again. I don't think they'll be sending Christmas cards to one another in December. A couple of changes here on the Laurel Highlands side and one on the South Fayette side as well. Pass those along to you. Get D'Amico back in. Connor D'Amico, Mustang senior, wearing number 1. Who's the other one, Jason? And Maddox McAllister also back on the Laurel Highlands side, wearing 17. It's played back to Noah Feltz on the South Fayette side. Did along there by Alex Rank, right back to O'Neill. Makes the save with 8:45 left here in the first half. O'Neill sending it over Radcliffe and deflected out. I'd like to pass along a hello to attorney Joseph George Sr. watching our match here today. Of course, his grandson is Roman George, one of the Mustang freshman starters today, and now Rockwell gets run over again by who else? Luke Gillen. Foul there on Gillen. No card shown. Will be a free kick for the Mustangs and a prime scoring opportunity about 30 yards out here in the South Fayette zone as Ryan Rockwell will take the free kick. 7:55 left here in the first half. Rockwell on the boot. Goes into the box, headed out on the South Fayette side. Lions pick up control. Played back through center there to Greville Garcia Arden. Scored the opening goal of the match. Getting a little help there from Ryan Bradley as the Lions break into the box. Good defense from Roman George. Almost on cue there. Sending it out will be, though, a corner kick here for South Fayette. With 7:20 left in the first half. Lions to put it down from the far side. Lions setting it up on the offensive side of the line drive, headed out by the Mustangs' Matt Kolensik. Lions trying to keep control. Credit Laurel Highlands bouncing back after conceding those opening 2 goals, drawing the penalty kick, and Brewsda capitalizing to pull the Mustangs back to within 1, and that one sent high of the goal from the top of the 18-yard box. Be a goal kick here for O'Neill and the Mustangs. Looking for a little action here, trying to tie things up right before halftime. It went through Rockwell over to Connor D'Amico, and D'Amico going down. No foul called, and picked back up again by Luke Gillen on the South Fayette side. Quickly cleared back by the Mustangs' Jackson Nairn in the direction of Cole Radcliffe, trying to get around Tyler Sidham. And played back to the South Fayette keeper, Gabe Specka. And off the Lions and out on the far side. Be a throw-in for Laurel Highlands as we go under 6 minutes left here in the first half. South Fayette a 2-1 lead over Laurel Highlands. Greville Garcia Arden and Luke Gillen, the 2 goal scorers on the South Fayette side. Mentioned Tanner Brewsda scoring on the Laurel Highlands side. Had the 1 yellow card shown to Lucas Patel at the 16:06 mark of the first half. Patel certainly eligible to rejoin the match now at this point after serving his 5 minutes after receiving the yellow card caution. The ball going out of play off of South Fayette, and out last touch there by Gillen, and Rockwell will take the throw-in. Rockwell down the near boundary in the direction of Cole Radcliffe. Wasn't able to get to the ball there. Sidham there on the South Fayette side, just clears it into the stands. And Ryan Rockwell will take the throw in here for the Mustangs. Played back in the direction of Brody Baker. Baker pressure, trying to stay with it. Gillen a little poke ahead there to Greville Garcia Arden. And spin his way back through center. And Connor D'Amico on it there for the Mustangs. Nairn will let it go back to O'Neill. We'll clear it out on the far side. Was headed along there by Roman George when crashing into the Mustang bench. And the Lions come back here with 4.5 minutes left in the first half. Garcia Arden back on the ball. And George a little touch ahead there. Getting a little help from Kolensik. Played back to center. It's controlled again by Jude Kwiatek on the South Fayette side. Looking there for Gillen. Headed back out by the Mustangs' Connor D'Amico. Coming free on the near side where Gillen will try to spin it back and actually went off the back of Ryan Bradley. Lions stay with it. Send it down the far wing. Kolensik bodies it down the Mustangs side. I was looking there for Tanner Brewsda. Kolensik continues to battle. And the Mustangs get control again there with Roman George. Lions poke it out, and George reloads there on the throw and intended for Brewsda. Touched back by the Lions. Alex Garbin blasting it back out on the South Fayette side with 3.5 minutes left before halftime. Still a 2-1 lead for South Fayette over Laurel Highlands. Brian Morozak alongside Billy Dice tonight. Jason Taylor, our public address announcer. Nice to have you along with us here on the South Union Township Sports Network for our Thursday night high school soccer action. We had the Laurel Highlands girls here last night against Thomas Jefferson. Tough loss for the Lady Mustangs, falling by a score of 7-0. They're back in action over at Bill Power Stadium against Uniontown on Monday. We'll have that match for you. 2 matches scheduled here on the network next week. The girls on Monday at Uniontown, and the boys here on Thursday hosting McKee Sports. As Kolensik, an opportunity there for the Mustangs. Really didn't get a good shot on goal, but it was touched out, though, by South Fayette. So the Mustangs will draw a corner kick here with 2:35 left before halftime, and Tanner Brusda will take it. Brusda to put it down on the far side. Mustangs trying to tie things up here, going to the locker room. High little lob from Brusda, looking for a header out in front. Deflected back top of the 18 on the near side. D'Amico leaving it back to Rockwell. A little chip towards the goal and a juggle and a save made there by Gabe Specca. He's able to settle things down on the South Fayette side as we approach the 2-minute mark of the first half. Specca on the boot back towards center. Garcia Arden able to knock it down, but the Mustangs looking for control, coming back on the other side there as Kolensik and George battle. And both teams playing a 4-5-1 here today. The Mustangs a little bit modified with a 5-player diamond in the middle. And Radcliffe up top. 1:36 now left. Garcia Arden looking in Gillen's direction. Header just going wide there of O'Neill. South Fayette saying went off of Laurel Highlands and out. Mustangs appealing, and I believe it's going to be a goal kick. It will be. And O'Neill will put it down with 75 seconds left here in the first half. Angles it off on the near side. Goes over the head of D'Amico. Rockwell going for the save, but off of Laurel Highlands going out. And Lucas Patel, who picked up that yellow card earlier, will send it in on the throw-in the direction of Gillen. Played back, and Radcliffe looking for a little counter-attack action here on the Laurel Highlands side. Slowed down by Alex Renk. Up to Garcia Arden here, back through the midfield. A little line drive got partially blocked. O'Neill trying to keep it in play. Would have been a corner if it was out. They're going to rule it out. And it will be a South Fayette corner kick here coming with about 38 seconds left before halftime. So the Lions trying to go quickly here to set up their attack here in the Laurel Highlands zone. Just two Lions back defensively. Line drive, kick into the box. A little deflection out in front. We go wide of O'Neill here on the near side. And ruled off of South Fayette and out. So it will be a Laurel Highlands goal kick. Let's see how aggressive the Mustangs get here with 15 seconds left in the first half. O'Neill to take it. Back in Radcliffe's direction towards center. Angled off on the near side. Looking for D'Amico, and that'll do it. So we played a half of soccer. South Fayette on goals from Greville Garcia Arden and Luke Gillen, leading Laurel Highlands by a score of 2-1. Tanner Brusda, the lone goal scored by the Mustangs on a penalty kick. So it's South Fayette 2, Laurel Highlands 1 here at halftime. Second half match action coming your way in about 10 minutes here on the South Union Township Sports Network. Back here ready for the start of the second half. The Laurel Highlands Mustangs trailing the South Fayette Lions by a score of 2-1. Brian Morozak along with Billy Dice. Nice to have you along with us for a Thursday night of high school soccer here on the South Union Township Sports Network. Brought to you tonight by Davis & Davis Attorneys at Law. The Sprouse Insurance Group and insurance agent David Hughes, SWGI specialist, now part of U.S. Digestive Health. Chesler's Fine Furniture at 51 north of Uniontown. Nice to have Rich Lacey in the press box here at halftime. The UPMC Rehabilitation Institute and physical therapist Jim Burns. United Bank, the Laurel Highlands boys soccer boosters, and South Union Township supervisors Bob Schiffbauer, Rick Vernon, and Jason Scott. So South Fayette scoring the opening 2 goals of the match. Laurel Highlands getting a goal and a penalty kick from Tanner Brewsda. Laurel Highlands certainly in this match down only 1 by a score of 2-1. And we'll see what this second half has in store. South Fayette working left to right as we describe it. Garcia Arda, a nice little run there into the box. Mustangs able to play it back towards the Lions' defensive line, and a little misplay there from Alex Rank, allowing the Mustangs to regain possession here on a throw-in taken by Roman George. Brewsda on the ball. Forward to Jackson Nairn, who the Mustangs have actually moved up a little bit. Nairn had been playing on the Laurel Highlands back line, now up on the front line. Only a freshman, but a very versatile player. Can play all over the field on the Laurel Highlands side. Roman George again. We got spun through Elliott Bohr. Nairn able to settle it back over to Matt Kolensik on the far side. Looking there for Rockwell. And deflected out of play. Yeah, South Fayette throwing. 90 seconds. And in the second half, again, Laurel Highlands entering play today 0-1-2 overall. 0-1-1 in conference play. South Fayette, surprisingly, 1-2 overall and 1-1 in the conference. So a big match for both schools. Got a very competitive section this year. The likes of Bethel Park, Thomas Jefferson, Trinity, and Ringgold. All teams that have been regulars in the WPIAL playoffs over the last couple of years. And only 4 get into the postseason. Colin Goff taking this throw-in. Top of the box. And the Lions able to get possession there inside the Laurel Highlands zone. Look at another little chip back there going high and wide of O'Neill on the near side for a Mustang goal kick. Laurel Highlands now trying to work out of their own zone. Kolensik up to Ryan Rockwell. Good run here for the Mustangs. Rockwell still on the ball. Sending it off on the near wing to Roman George. George trying to cut back to his right. Lyon goes down. George stays on the ball. Back to Rockwell again. A little open field ahead. Shot got deflected down and then cleared by Lucas Patel on the South Fayette side. Looking there for Greville Garcia Arden. And Matt Kolensik settles it back there for the Mustangs. Touch from Mahoney going through Bohr. And Mahoney getting it back again after a little South Fayette clearance attempt. Brody Baker on the far side. Brewsda got a piece of it. Played back again to Roman George. Up again to Bohr. Laurel Highlands slowly trying to make their way down the pitch on the far side. And I keep a little possession time here. George swinging it around, intended for Bohr. Headed back along, and Bohr getting another piece of it. Now Brody Baker on the defensive line. And South Fayette on a little through ball. Neal came out initially, now backing up. Garcia Arden on the rundown, and the shot attempt goes wide here on the near side. They're trying to get O'Neill out of position, but Daniel did a good job there to get back in goal. And South Fayette forced the shot wide. And now Maddox McAllister touching it up there to Brewsda. The Lions back on it again. Winston Martini seeing his first match action on the South Fayette side. Came on to start the second half, wearing number 21. That ball cleared out here on the near side. Off of Laurel Highlands announce. Alex Garbin will take the throw-in. That one going into the box. Coming out, O'Neal will scoop it up and make the save there on the Laurel Highlands side. Pushing it up to Roman George. Over to Elliott Bohr. Settled back by Brewsda. You had a lion down. It was Ryan Bradley. A free kick here for South Fayette. A line drive going right to O'Neal. Was able to make the save. Tyler Sidham took that free kick on the South Fayette side. Jude Kwiatek on the poke down on the backside for South Fayette. Brody Baker there for Laurel Highlands. Baker will just let it go out of play off the Lions and outs. Baker takes the throw-in. A little slide tackle attempts there for South Fayette. A crosser out in front. O'Neal comes out to make the save. We'll play it off here on the near side to Roman George. George trying to break back. And he's getting a little physical there. George kind of stopped and was pushed by Alex Rank. Rank then finds the loose ball, comes forward. In traffic, Rebel Garcia Arden sending it wide of O'Neal on the far side. 33-22 left here in the second half. All the scoring in the first half. Rebel Garcia Arden scored at the 38-22 mark for South Fayette. Then Luke Gillen scoring at the 16-36 mark. South Fayette went up by a score of 2-0. Get a yellow card issued to Lucas Patel. And then the Mustangs drawing a penalty kick, and Tanner Brewsda scoring on that penalty kick for the Mustangs to make it 2-1. That was our halftime score, and that's where we still stand here at the 32-45 mark of the second half. And the Mustangs trying to even things up. Trying to get a little possession time here in the second half. There's Elliott Bohr. Playing it back to Kolensik. And a chip ahead. That should be offsides. And the play was whistled down. Late call, but Rebel Garcia Arden was breaking towards goal, but pretty obvious, at least from our position up here in the press box, that he was behind that defensive line when the through ball was taken. And now the Mustangs on the counterattack here with Ryan Rockwell on the far side. He got tripped up. We'll get a late foul called here and a free kick for the Mustangs. So we go under 32 minutes left here in the second half. The Mustangs to set it up here, looking for the tie. Free kick coming here about 25 yards out. Booed into the box. Elliott Bohr was there, couldn't find it. Bodied down by the Mustangs' Ethan Perkins. And another shot that just deflected off the football crossbar. And a good scoring opportunity there for Laurel Highlands. We'll get a change here on the South Fayette side. Under 31 minutes left here in the second half. Line drive back towards center. Mahoney finds it, tries to pull it up to Ryan Rockwell. And South Fayette picking up control again with Rebel Garcia Arden. Arden trying to play it down the near south, a deflection. Controlled by Jude Kwiatek. And then cleared out by the Mustangs Casey Mahoney. South Fayette will take the throw-in. There's one out there in front of the South Fayette bench. Mustangs look for possession. And Alex Renk will play it back to his keeper, Gabe Specka. The Lions break back. Garcia Arden is there, went down. It's incidental contact. Mahoney a poke, trying to send it in Elliot Boer's direction. And Boer got tripped up. That should be a foul. Didn't even have the ball in the vicinity. Mustangs calling for the foul. I think the official signaled for it. And it will be a free kick. That was pretty obvious. South Fayette's complaining about it, but the one Lion kind of stuck his foot out. Pretty obvious trip of the ball, not even in the vicinity. And Brewsda will take the free kick, send it down. He had both Nairn and George breaking towards it. But South Fayette clearing it back towards center again. 29:03 left in regulation time. Matt Kolensik playing it back there to Tanner Brewsda. Touch from Mahoney. Up again to Kolensik. Deflected around. Boer comes back. Gets control. Settled off to Rockwell. Forward to Brewsda. Brewsda and Rockwell trying to battle on that far side. Now when lost out of play there by Patel. Mustangs take a quick throw in. Try to break on the far side. Looking for possession there with Nairn. And sent out of play off of South Fayette and out. So this will be another Laurel Highlands corner kick. Tanner Brewsda to take it. 28-16 left in regulation. Brewsda puts it down. Line drive up top. Header just going high and wide. Taken there by Kolensik. So the Mustangs getting some good scoring opportunities over the last 5 minutes or so. Certainly like the addition of Nairn on that front line for Laurel Highlands. Cole Radcliffe back into the match on the Laurel Highlands side. Mustangs giving him a little breather. I don't mind having Radcliffe, Rockwell, and Nairn all up there, though. You certainly weaken up your defense a bit, but you're down a goal at this juncture in the match. You have to take some chances. Radcliffe taking the safety back to McAllister. And played back up to Radcliffe. And out of play here on the near side. We're off of Laurel Highlands and out. Colin Goff will bounce it back. Alex Garbutt takes the throw in. Mustangs try to send it in the other direction again. Radcliffe stepping up. Poke there from Boer. Radcliffe's direction too far. And the Lions just let it go out of play. And they'll take a throw in coming back as we go under 27 minutes. Left here in the second half. Still 2-1 South Fayette. Mustangs got a little sloppy there. Actually, South Fayette got a little sloppy there. And Laurel Highlands sent across the box. They'll take a quick corner kick from the backside. You have Brewsda there out in front. Looking for the loose ball. Played back on the backside. And that one went off the crossbar again, coming loose. Radcliffe now will step up. Radcliffe plays hacky sack with it here on the near side. Lobs it towards goal. Jackson Nairn there on the Laurel Highlands side, unable to get a piece of it and goes out of play. Not sure what happened there on the initial quick cross that went out in front of Gabe Specka. Almost gave Laurel Highlands an opportunity there to tie the match. Jason telling me it was a little throw-in back to the goalie that was misplayed. And Jackson Nairn there almost got the shot off on the Laurel Highlands side. There's Mahoney sending it back ahead. Nairn pretty much sitting at the top of the diamond now by himself on the Laurel Highlands side. Ethan Perkins finds the loose ball. Mustangs break back. Elliott Boer a touch. Spun there over to Brewsda. Back in Perkins' direction. Lost the handle there to Kwiatek. But Rockwell back on it on the Laurel Highlands. That kind of initiated the contact. I think we'll get a foul here on Ryan Rockwell. South Fayette's calling for it, and you have a injured player behind the play as well. That's Greville Garcia Arden down on the South Fayette side. Garcia Arden scored the opening goal of the match less than 2 minutes in. He went down there away from the ball. Garcia Arden, 5'8" senior. At least they have him listed at 5'8". Looks a lot taller than that out in the pitch. The clock stopped with 25-13 left here in regulation time. Reminder, our match brought to you today by Smith Lewis Chess, CPAs in Uniontown, Davis & Davis Attorneys at Law, the Sprouse Insurance Group and insurance agent David Hughes, SWGI Specialist, now part of U.S. Digestive Health, Chesler's Fine Furniture at 51 north of Uniontown, the UPMC Rehabilitation Institute and physical therapist Jim Burns, United Bank, the Laurel Highlands Boys Soccer Boosters, and South Union Township Supervisors Bob Schiffbauer, Rick Vernon, and Jason Scott. I'm Brian Morozak alongside Billy Dice. Nice to have you along with us for a Thursday night of high school boys soccer action. And we'll have Laurel Highlands football for you tomorrow against Southmoreland, 7 o'clock start. Next week, a pair of soccer games. Monday, the Laurel Highlands girls at Uniontown taking on the Red Raiders. That'll be a 7 o'clock start on Monday as the Lions look for a break here. Then we're back at Laurel Highlands next Thursday for the Mustang boys here against McKeesport. That one ruled off Laurel Highlands and out, so South Fayette will get a corner kick here from the far side. Final 25 minutes of regulation time. Lions looking for a little insurance. Mustangs looking to tie things up. Corner taken into the box. Bohr trying to head it out. Rockwell trying to turn it back. Play whistled down. And roll a handball here on South Fayette. And a free kick for Laurel Highlands. O'Neill starts it again with Tanner Brewsda. As the Mustangs try to work it back through center. Brewsda looking for a leave down there to Rockwell. Got picked up for a moment by the Lions. Baker back on it. Over to Rockwell, trying to work his way back through center. Playing it back to Elliott Bohr. Now on the near side to Cole Radcliffe. Cole's run slowed down there. Alex Renk finding the loose ball there for South Fayette. Sent right back in the direction of Ethan Perkins for Laurel Highlands. Perkins went shoulder to shoulder with Colin Goff. The ball rolls back to Daniel O'Neill, who will scoop it up here for Laurel Highlands. O'Neill, a good boot there back towards center. O'Neill played a lot this past summer for the Junior Riverhounds team and some goalie camps up in the Cranberry area, and you can tell his game has been top-notch to start the 2024 campaign. Will be tested here again. A little run down from Gillen. Pulled back up top. Gillen another lob towards goal and headed right on goal. And O'Neill making another save there for the Mustangs. And Daniel with a little line drive forward there to Cole Radcliffe. A little open space ahead. Cole setting it off on the far side. Rockwell going to body it down. There's Ryan coming forward there for Laurel Highlands. Rockwell trying to work his way to the box. Went down. I think we're going to foul called here. Which way is it going to go? The foul's going to be called on Rockwell for initiating the contact. Mustang fans don't like that. And South Fayette have a free kick now going the other way. With 22-20 left here in the second half. Goes right back to Brody Baker on the Laurel Highlands side. Over in Rockwell's direction. The Mustangs have had pretty good possession time here in the second half. Haven't had a goal scored in the second half of the match. We were 2-1 at halftime. That's where we still sit. In favor of South Fayette over Laurel Highlands. And you're going to get a foul here on the Mustangs' Jackson Nairn, even though it appeared the South Fayette player kind of went down over Nairn. Not like Jackson really stuck a foot out or anything. Nonetheless, Lions another little line drive into the Mustang zone. And a little cross out in front. And controlled by Tanner Brusda. Lost it there to Noah Feltz. Mustangs get a little help, though, coming back from Ethan Perkins. Played over to Cole Radcliffe. Settled back to Brusda. Looking there for Jackson Nair. Never got in his direction. Lions finding it for a moment there from Garbin, and then out of play here on the near side as the chippy play continues tonight. Now rule it off of Laurel Highlands and outs. Garbin will take the throw in. Almost midway through the second half. Still 2-1 South Fayette over Laurel Highlands. Garbin, good blast forward there, and a scoring opportunity coming up here for Garcia Arden. And just sent it wide. And O'Neal taking the goal kick out on the far side. Jackson Baker, 65, back into the match on the Laurel Highlands side. The Lions look for another leave down here. Look out. Low shot into the back of the net and a goal from Jude Kwiatek. And Kwiatek giving the Lions a little insurance as they go up 3-1. Coming here at the 19:51 mark of the second half. Kwiatek is first to the match. Now, certainly a tough road ahead for Laurel Highlands, down 2. With just under 20 minutes of soccer remaining. We'll see if we get any tactical changes from head coach Jerry Rogers here over the final 20. Leave it off to Rockwell, looking for a rundown on the far side. Ball ruled off of South Fayette and out. Played into Brusda. Body down by Radcliffe. And a little contact initiated there on the Laurel Highlands side, and then a little retaliation on the South Fayette side. They called the initial foul there on Jackson Nairn. Pretty obvious Alex Renk retaliated, and usually you get the yellow for coming back and making a move like Renk made. And you're just going to have the foul call there on Nairn. If you're a Mustang fan, you can't like that call. You can't let Renk get a cheap shot like that coming back and just leave it alone. And so the officials did. And South Fayette looking for more with Garcia Arden on the rundown towards O'Neal, who blasted back towards center. 18:20 left in regulation time. Mustangs will need at least a pair to force an extra session. We'll see if we get any tactical changes on the Lions side as well. Will they go into park the bus mode or stay aggressive? Be a throw in here for Ryan Rockwell. Sending it into Matt Kolensik, and the play whistled down again. What do we got? He just took the throw in too quickly. Another collision here at midfield. Elliott Bohr running into a Lion. And Bohr called for the foul. So the Mustangs getting some calls to go against them here in the second half. South Fayette now a 2-goal lead, looking for more. A little header out in front of O'Neal. This rolls off into Daniels' direction. He's able to make the cover. The Mustangs look for the counterattack. Another collision here at midfield. Mustang down, and now they're going to get retaliation here on the Laurel Highlands side. I think that was Jackson Nairn that came back with a little cheap shot. But you're going to get that when you don't have the initial fouls called. They allowed the retaliation earlier from Rank. And now you'll likely get Nairn carded here with Rockwell down on the Mustang side. So the officials will sort this one out. Rockwell trying to get to his feet. And 16:45 left in regulation time. And Rockwell getting a round of applause coming to the Mustang bench. I didn't see any cards issued. Surprisingly, I thought they'd get Nairn there for the hard contact in front of the bench. I haven't seen anything shown, and Nairn's still on the field on the Laurel Highlands side. They will take Elliott Bohr out of the match. I'll check and see who's back in here on the Laurel Highlands side. Appears to be Roman George, 27. No card shown. The officials have to be careful as well. You allow this aggressive play to go on all night. And not only do you increase the injury chance, but the game could really get out of hand here late, especially if you have a couple goal margin up on the scoreboard. Sometimes you might get frustration showing out of the team that's trailing. You don't mind if you have a little cushion, taking a couple extra shots if you're in the lead as well. I'm not talking about shots on goal either. Be a throw in here. They're actually going to roll a foul here on Laurel Highlands. Be a free kick on the South Fayette side. So we got under 16 minutes left in regulation. Goes back into the box and headed wide of the goal here on the near side. Looking at the schedule ahead for South Fayette, again, they're at Thomas Jefferson next Tuesday, and then they'll host Albert Gallatin on Thursday. And another quick whistle here. Foul called on South Fayette. You'll get a free kick for the Mustangs, Tanner Brewsda. We'll see Brewsda here again tomorrow night, both the kicker and the punter on the Laurel Highlands football team, as the Mustangs will take on Southmoreland. Played up to Roman George. A little help there from Cole Radcliffe. George trying to stay with it. Another quick whistle. I think you're getting a card shown here. It's going to go on Radcliffe. And Cole sent off. With 15:04 left in the second half. Second card we've seen tonight. Lucas Patel was issued a yellow at the 16:06 mark of the first half. This card to Radcliffe. Coming at the 15:04 mark of the second half. And Cole will have to sit 5 minutes. Part of the high school yellow card rules. You get a free kick here for South Fayette. Clock restarted. The top of the box in the Mustang zone. It's knocked down, and breaking back the other way is Roman George. Trying to find Jackson Nairn. The Lions find the loose ball. Look to control again. And Matt Kolensik on it there for the Mustangs. Connor D'Amico battling on the far side for the Mustangs. Will take the throw in. Get it back on a little give and go. Played back to Brewsda. 14:25 left here in the second half. Mustangs trying to make their way out of their own zone. Down 2 goals. The Lions just looking for possession time. Trying to end it. Send it forward there to Greville Garcia Arden. And off the Mustangs going out again. Told you what's ahead for South Fayette. On the Laurel Highlands side, the Mustangs will hit the road on Tuesday. They'll travel to Trinity for another conference game. We mentioned we'll have their match against McKeesport here next Thursday. The Lions fire it off the throw and back into the box. Ball coming loose in front of O'Neill and sent high of the goal. A goal kick upcoming the following week. The Mustangs at Bethel Park on Tuesday, and then they'll host Albert Gallatin on Thursday. They'll have a Monday match on September the 23rd against Connellsville. And travel to TJ the next day before hosting Ringgold that Thursday. So the Mustangs actually 3 matches in a 4-day stretch in late September. The lone Uniontown Laurel Highlands game with the two teams in separate conferences on the boys' side coming up on September the 30th. He played here at Laurel Highlands. That would be a Monday as well. Now a stoppage with 12:51 left in regulation. South Fayette player went down, helped off on the far side. It's been physical tonight. Seen some players getting nicked up on both sides. Rockwell down for the Mustangs. Radcliffe recently carded. And Mahoney letting it go back there to O'Neill, who comes out and takes a little contact there from a South Fayette player. O'Neill rolling it out there to Tanner Brewsda. 12:21 left in regulation. These two teams will meet for a second time this season on October 1st at South Fayette. And unless the Mustangs get 2 here late, they'll be looking for revenge. Laurel Highlands certainly show they can play with South Fayette as they played TJ to a draw as well. South Fayette just getting the better opportunities tonight to lead by 2. And the first meeting in almost 11 years between these two schools. Last met in the quarterfinal round of the WPIAL playoffs back in 2013. Jackson Baker looking for a piece of it, going back to Brewsda. Sent ahead by Colin Goff on the far side before the Mustangs played back into the South Fayette zone here in the near wing. With Roman George breaking down. Another foul called. With 11:20 left. Mentioned the Laurel Highlands girls losing last night to Thomas Jefferson 7-0. They'll have our next soccer TV match at Uniontown coming up on Monday. And for their conference, just 6 teams with 4 teams making the playoffs. So, in theory, if Laurel Highlands could beat out Uniontown and Albert Gallatin for 4th place, they can get the final playoff spot out of the conference. We'll see how that plays out. Certainly that Uniontown game big for both schools. Whoever gets a win there will have the upper hand. Of course, you have to factor in the Albert Gallatin matches as well. It's like a mini Commander-in-Chief's trophy between the 3 schools in Fayette County. 10:25 left here in the second half. South Fayette a 3-1 lead over Laurel Highlands. And Greville Garcia Arden scored the opening goal for South Fayette less than 2 minutes into the match. Luke Gillen scoring at the 16:36 mark to put South Fayette up 2-1. There's a steal from Jackson Baker. Baker trying to work his way back into the box. Paddle continues, and now you'll get a whistle, and Baker's going to likely get called for the foul, and should have a little bit of taunting here on the South Fayette side as well. And if you're watching this match from the press box, it certainly appears that South Fayette's gotten the better of the calls here in the second half. Haven't gotten a lot of the calls at all in any of the retaliation. It's very surprising because usually those are the calls that get made. And again, the officials are kind of putting these players in possibly a dangerous spot here late because if they allow that retaliation to continue without any repercussions, things can really get ugly. The Mustangs some open field here with Bruised. A good shot on goal, but just a little wide on the far side. And the Mustangs' lone goal on the penalty kick attempt from Tanner Bruised at the 12:30 mark of the first half. Jude Kwiatek made it 3-1 South Fayette just under the 20-minute mark of the second half. That's where we sit right now, 3-1 with 8:42 left here in regulation, and you'll get a goal kick here for South Fayette. Reminder, if you're watching this match on Breezeline or Armstrong Cable, I'd like to let you know that all of our South Union Township Sports Network games and programs are available live online. It's easy to find. Just log on to youtube.com and search South Union Television to find the archive broadcast, or follow the South Union Township Sports Network on Facebook for live games. That's facebook.com/South Union TV. Here's a Radcliffe down the near boundary. Kwiatek will come back here for South Fayette, trying to send it forward to Garcia Arden, who will blast it just wide of O'Neill and wide of the goal, and will be a goal kick here for the Mustangs as we go under 8 minutes left in regulation time. South Fayette last year, we mentioned WPIAL champs. Had a nice little run through the playoffs. Knocked off Greater Latrobe in the first round 4-0. And also a clean sheet over Plum, 1-0. For doubling up Montour in the semis, 2-1. Won the WPIAL championship game over Hampton, 4-2. Qualified for the state playoffs as well. Won a first-round state playoff game over Kennard Dale, 2-0, before losing to Erie Cathedral Prep in the state quarterfinals, 2-0. Certainly a nice accomplishment anytime you can win a WPIAL championship and advance to the Elite Eight in the entire state of Pennsylvania. That's what the Lions did a season ago. Certainly lost some key players to graduation, but get some of these younger guys going here in 2024. Could certainly be a contender again. And whoever ends up making the playoffs out of this conference will certainly be battle-tested. Look at the strength of the conference mentioned with Thomas Jefferson, Bethel Park, Ringgold, Trinity, South Fayette. I mean, no easy matches this year at all. Mustang fans staying involved. Cheerleaders keeping their supporters in the match, and a little header out in front of O'Neill, and Daniel scoops it back up and runs out here on the near side, and will roll it back in Cole Radcliffe's direction, who's re-entered after that yellow card, and Radcliffe's able to find it. Try to go cross-field on the far side, picked up there by Jackson Nairn. Nairn looking for a little poke ahead, but played back on the other side by Colin Goff of South Fayette. And they'll look for Greville Garcia Arden coming the other way, but Mahoney will slow down the run there on the Mustang side with 5:45 left here in the second half, and the margin on the scoreboard still 2 in favor of South Fayette over Laurel Highlands. Mahoney, another touch there for Laurel Highlands. Send it off to Kolensik. Then Mahoney looking to clear again in Nairn's direction. Pinball's back over to Matt Kolensik again. Little Lion pressure on his back. Played up to Cole Radcliffe. Juggle it back through center. Flips it back over to Ryan Rockwell. Good to see him back on the field after he took a little spill earlier. Ball was juggled and then regaining there. The South Fayette keeper, Gabe Specka. There are 5 minutes now left in regulation. A free kick here for Laurel Highlands. Foul called on South Fayette. Here's Brewsda again. Another nice boot down in Rockwell's direction. Will go over his head, and Ryan unable to track it down. It went sliding almost onto the track. Perfect weather, though, tonight. Game time temperature when we started around 75 degrees, dropping likely into the low 50s by the end of the night tonight. Certainly comfortable weather. No thunderstorms to contend with tonight. Are expected to see some rain moving into the area very late tomorrow night. Shouldn't affect the high school football games like the Lightning did the previous week. And saw the Laurel Highlands Ambridge football game suspended twice, and in fact only about 53 seconds of game action actually got played last Friday up in Beaver County between the two schools. In fact, I think the only game at Beaver County that got completed on Friday night was at Central Valley, which was hard to believe because Central Valley located right near Ambridge and Aliquippa and all the other schools that saw games stopped, and somehow they played a full Friday night over at Central Valley unaffected by the Lightning. Mahoney clearing that one out. It's always interesting how they interpret the Lightning rules. I mean, we saw here for the Laurel Highlands TJ boys game last Tuesday, Lightning strikes for about 35 minutes in the second half before the game was ultimately stopped in the overtime session. And we didn't see nearly as much Lightning at Ambridge. Did see some out in the distance, and of course, that game on Friday was stopped. What was interesting about that as well is they never cleared out the fans. They had fans sitting in metal bleachers the entire night while the players were pulled off the field, and the game was stopped as the Mustangs a little break here on the far side, and another nice save in goal by Gabe Specka on the South Fayette side. But it was interesting how they cleared all the players off, and you had Lightning around the area, but they were, I guess, okay with the fans sitting in the metal bleachers. Again, hard to figure out at times. Certainly had some thunderstorms move through the area on Saturday as well. Affected some of the soccer games as Ryan Rockwell comes through. Laurel Highlands got their varsity boys game in against Betts Center. They're trying to play a JV game with Uniontown in the afternoon. Never got started. That should be a foul in the box. You had Radcliffe take a shot in the back. And apparently the refs were okay with that going on. And now you have Laurel Highlands create a little retaliation there, and they'll get called for a foul with the South Fayette player down with 1:50 to play. Again, the officiating has been ultra inconsistent tonight. Now you'll have an injury stoppage with 1:39 to play. If you're going to call a foul, and again, when you don't make those calls, you get injuries like this that occur. If you make that initial foul call on South Fayette, they don't get their player injured by a Laurel Highlands player retaliating. That's the officials just allowing the match to get out of control. It's not the first time we've seen it. .139 to play. Mustangs still down 2. Let you know once again that our match coverage here on the South Union Township Sports Network brought to you by Smith Lewis Chess CPAs in Uniontown, Davis & Davis Attorneys at Law, the Sprouse Insurance Group, and Agent David Hughes, SWGI Specialist, now part of U.S. Digestive Health, Jessler's Fine Furniture at 51 north of Uniontown, the UPMC Rehabilitation Institute and physical therapist Jim Burns, United Bank, the Laurel Highlands Boys Soccer Boosters, and South Union Township Supervisors Bob Schiffbauer, Rick Vernon, and Jason Scott. I'm Brian Morozak, Billy Dice behind the camera. Hopefully you've enjoyed our presentation of high school boys soccer here tonight. Laurel Highlands Mustangs hosting the South Fayette Lions. 1:39 left in regulation. South Fayette leading Laurel Highlands by a score of 3-1. In our next TV match for the girls coming up on Monday, Laurel Highlands at Uniontown taking on the Red Raiders. 7 o'clock start from Bill Power Stadium. Our next TV game for the boys here next Thursday as Laurel Highlands hosts McKeesport. That'll be a 7:30 start for Mustang Field. South Fayette will have possession here when we resume with a free kick. Garcia Arden takes it. Down the field where Tanner Brusda will chip it ahead for Laurel Highlands. Settled there by Matt Kolensik. Final 90 seconds now. And with the loss, Laurel Highlands will drop to 0-2-2 overall and 0-2-1 in the conference. The win will improve South Fayette to an even 500 overall and 2-1 in conference play. And the Mustangs back in action Tuesday at Trinity. South Fayette back in action Tuesday at Thomas Jefferson. That'll certainly be one of the showcase matches around the WPIAL. Under a minute left here. Other matches being played tonight. McKeesport was at Bethel Park. Thomas Jefferson in Fayette County at Albert Gallatin, and Trinity was at Ringgold. 42 seconds left. Crosser at the top of the box. Garcia Arden had deflected over, then played back to center. Well, it's sent out on the far side off of Laurel Highlands now. Seconds again, recapping the scoring. Rebel Garcia Arden, Luke Gillen, and Jake Kwiatek, the goal scorers on the South Fayette side. Tanner Brusda scoring the lone Mustang goal on a penalty kick. 10 seconds left. Jackson Nairn down to Rockwell. And 5 seconds left. Played back to center. Mahoney, the last touch of the night. And that'll do it. South Fayette, a 3-1 win over Laurel Highlands this evening from Mustang Field. Tonight's game on the South Union Township Sports Network has been a joint cooperative venture with Township Supervisors Bob Schiff Bauer, Rick Vernon, and Jason Scott, along with Armstrong Cable and Breezeline Cable, and of course our friends at CUTV, including Gary Smith. Again, our final score, South Fayette 3 and Laurel Highlands 1 for Billy Dice and Brian Morozak. You've been watching the South Union Township Sports Network. So long, everybody.